Hello again, everyone. Today's video will be my rankings of the Beatles album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We will be going once again from the bottom to the toppermost, which is song 13 to song number 1. Just going to be straightforward, talk about each one, and move along. No cuts, no frills, just down to the business. So, without any further ado, let's hit number 13. At number 13, I have Sergeant Pepper Reprise. The only reason I have that there is because it is part of a song, but it's still a song. And it's all just an alternate version, somewhat, I guess you could say, of the beginning song. So I felt compelled to put it at the bottom. At number 12, because probably going to be another shocker to some people out there, but it's just a song I do not particularly care for. But when it's on, it doesn't bother me as much as I think it will. So when I hear it now, I don't wait for the song to get over as much as I used to. But it's still not a popular one, and that's When I'm 64. I know Paul wrote this when he was like 14 or 15 years old or something, and I've heard plenty of stories about it. I know there's other people that really like the song. It's just not my favorite, or just not my cup of tea. At number 11 is another McCartney song that other people really like that I just can't get into. I don't mind it as much as, or I don't despise it as much as I used to. I like it better now, and that's She's Leaving Home. It's got a great story. It's just not a song that I really enjoy. I do like the backing vocals. I like hearing the play off back and forth between uh, Paul and then John and George backing vocals. There's good play back and forth between them, between in the lyrics. So that's number 11. Number 10 is Fixing a Hole. Um, this probably just a few years ago would have been even farther down. It's actually a song that's gotten a little better to me. Little, I've learned to like a little bit more. Um, it's a fair to decent, fairly good song. But it's not much better than a 10th place spot. Number 9 is Getting Better. This is another one of those songs. A lot of the McCartney songs on Sergeant Pepper to me. By the way, Sergeant Pepper is not my favorite Beatles album. It's probably fourth at best, but more likely fifth, and that's without counting Magical Mystery Tour because that's not a true album. But I digress. Getting Better is, I do like the beginning of it and the way it comes in after, as the third, as the fourth song coming in after Lucy in the Sky. Um, and number 8 is Good Morning, Good Morning. I used to like this song a lot better than I do now. Um, but it's an interesting song, and I like all the animal sounds. Kind of a play off of Pet Sounds, the end of Pet Sounds with the barking dog. But Good Morning is a very good song at number 8. At number 7 is Lovely Rita. This is a song that I've gradually been getting to like more and more as I hear it, and as the years go by. Um, it's I just like the overall style of the song, and it's a good listen, I guess you could say. I've got number 5, number 6, because that's Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and with a little help from my friends. Um, I will always put them together as one song. I know they're two different songs, but to me, it's one song. So they're 5 and 6. It's one of the. It's a great beginning to an album. It's a hard rocker. It's the one of the best thing, or the best starts of an album probably by the Beatles. With the little help from my friends is of course a classic song. Uh, Great vocals from Ringo. It's probably his signature song, I would say, not written by him. Moving on to number 4. That is Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite. I even have a poster over there. And I'm not showing it. But this is a song that a lot of people probably don't care for as much as I do, but I don't know what it is, but it's always been one that I've always enjoyed. It's been one of my favorites, and I think it fits in with the whimsical part of the album more. I think John, it's kind of a whimsical album, I guess you would say. I'm sure some people have said it. I've always considered it that way. And John's songs are the more fit more into that, and he didn't particularly care for the album. Um, and that leads us to number 3 for someone who didn't particularly care for the album at all either, and that's George Harrison. Within You, Without You. This song probably even 5 years ago, definitely 10 years ago, I would consider to be at the bottom. But as I listen to it, as I've learned to appreciate it, I've learned to love the song. I think I covered that a little bit when I went through my vinyl albums, my US vinyl albums. But I'll touch upon it again. It's just I love the sound. He's done such a good job with the song. It's produced well, it's written well, it's a different sound. It fully made Indian music well known to the general public that hadn't known it. I know there's some other uses of sitar on, say, Norwegian Wood and Love You Too, but over the years I really learned to love this song Within Without You, and that's why I have it at number 3. At number 2, it's it. I don't. At number 2 is going to be don't. It's gonna probably be obvious to everyone because everyone knows what number 1 is going to be. But number 2 is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is a wonderful song. It's one of John's best songs, probably as a Beatle. It's I have a top 100 list. I may do that sometime too. Of course, that top 100 list is always evolving, or I guess it would be evolving. They're moving around. Um, that's it. I think I got that at 24. Yeah, I got it at 24 out of 100. We all know the story about Julian and drawing the picture about Lucy, and she's in the sky, and I believe that's true because John, if a song was written about drugs, John would say it. He's not gonna hide it. He said whatever. He spoke his mind. Everyone knows that. So, but and of course I love Elton John's version, and John's on it. So that is probably my favorite cover song is Elton John's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. But at number 2 is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, leading to number 1, which is A Day in the Life. And what can you say about A Day in the Life? It is a monumental song. It's sensational. It's operatic. It's classical. It's just such a wonderful and incredible song. And of course, the huge crashing chords at the end make it what it is. I would imagine if you sat down with your headphones on in 1967 and you're going to listen to a new Beatles album, you listen all the way through it and you're like, oh man, this is really something. And you get to A Day in the Life, which is my number 2 song of all time, Beatles. But if you're sitting there listening to that and you get to that final song and you're like, what in the world did I just listen to? No wonder Brian Wilson lost his mind. But yes, by far, A Day in the Life is the number 1 song on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I hope you enjoyed this video and this run through or run up or run down, run up, count down, count up of the songs of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Check out my other videos and look for the next countdown or count up video, ranking video, I should say, of Magical Mystery Tour. So, until next time,